Well, hello everybody, and today we're looking at the Ke Ni Otsu, the most OP'd tank in the whole of Blitz, and one that really doesn't need any introductions whatsoever, because it's infamous. This is the mistake tank. This is the tank that Wargaming dropped the ball. Instead of putting in a 9-second reload of a 4-clip magazine, they put in a 2.9 reload of a 4-clip magazine. And by the time they realized their mistake, 20 minutes after they released it, it was too late. People had bought it. So if you happen to be like me, one of those lucky souls who managed to get their grubby paws on this little thing, you're very lucky indeed. This is now the rarest tank in Blitz. You will never see it again. It will never be released ever again, which is a shame because it's just a crazy tank. At tier 3, this tank is like taking the Death Star out. With its crazy reload times, as you're seeing here, it just fires and fires and fires. And with its ability to hit so much DPM, and with the 11 degrees of gun depression, coupled with the maneuverability, and its really low aim time, you're just going to tear up the whole of tier 3. You can just sit there and press the button, keep your thumb on it actually, and it will just waste everybody. So if you ever see one of these tanks in the game, and it's not on your side, you need to do everything in your power to waste it, because it will waste you. That's just, without a shadow of a doubt. It is just an obscene tank. I'm not the only person to come to that conclusion. By all means, go and check out Bushka, Martin Dogger, Skate, and all the others, and you will see that they say exactly the same thing, although they say it a lot better than I ever could. So what is it really like in a game? Well, I'm going to now show you 3 games that I played one after the other last night in this little tank in a tier 3 game. Well, tier 3, tier 4. And you will see it's unbelievably accurate. The reload is crazy, and you can just sit there and wait for them to pop, and you can just put your finger on the button and bang 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 bang. This is a fun tank if you're driving it. It's an absolute nightmare if somebody else is driving it. And you need to be careful with this tank if it's on the enemy team, because it's got great camo, it's got the best gun in the game for that reload, it deals out an obscene amount of DPM and damage at this level, tier 3, and it will be an absolute nuisance. Now, this is basically like a big clan game we had last night. It's a proper tier 3, don't get me wrong. I mean, this is a random battle on the server, but most of the people that I'm playing with, it's just a bit of clan fun. And you can see, we're just tearing the place apart. We're just raining hellfire on everybody. And, okay, we bounced a few shots, but the damage is... Okay, that one bounced. And we're just wasting whatever comes in front of us. And they don't have a chance because of the reload. And at tier 3, the armor, okay, it's not the best, but it's a tier 3 tank. You're not meant to have the best armor in the world. It's meant to be relatively thin. But this poor T-46, I mean, that's one of the best tanks at tier 3. And he has no chance against me, none at all. It's just going to waste him and waste him and waste him. Next we come to, we're just taking tanks out willy-nilly. And it's the Valentine, he hasn't got a chance. He's gone. Now, I've taken out 5 tanks, sorry, on this game so far. I would have taken out 6, but somebody else took that shot for me, which is only fair because he'd done all the damage, really. And now, look how far away I am. 200, 300 meters. Boom, gone. He's gone. He's gone. And the other thing about this tank, if you ever want to get an ace, and I know I did say in one of my videos, I'm not going to show loads of aces, 595 damage if we get a mastery. Unbelievable. It's an unbelievable tank. Now, as I said at the beginning, these games are literally one after the other. And if you don't believe me, I purposely leave at the very end, in the bottom corner, the time. The last game was at 22:33, my time, because I'm sat in Dubai, which would have been, what, 7:33 European time, UK time, sorry. This game is the game straight after that game. So it's the same format. It's a bit of clan fun in tier 3. So we're going out there just to have a bit of fun and to have like a clan war, but it's still a proper random battle. Don't get me wrong. We all press the button at the same time, and hopefully we get into the same game. Doesn't always work that way. So it's a proper random battle. This is not us in training rooms. We are having a proper random battle with proper players on the EU server. And I am just tearing the enemy apart. It's as simple as that. They cannot cope with this rate of fire on this tank. In fact, I don't think anybody could cope with the rate of fire on this tank. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm showing you 3 good games in a row. Obviously, I did get wasted in some of the games. We didn't win every single game because of the Ke Ni Otsu, but it was pretty close. And the only reason we didn't win every game is because it was quickly decided that the easiest way to tackle the Ke Ni Otsu is everybody waste the Ke Ni Otsu. So that's what we did. Now, so far, they're 1 tank down, which the Ke Ni Otsu got. Now they're 2 tanks down, which the Ke Ni Otsu got. Now he's going to go in and try and take some more tanks down. He's going to forget about him. Somebody else can have him. Look at this. The aim time is brilliant. The accuracy is amazing. Now, look, I'm showing you this not because it's a tank you can get. It's not a tank you can get. You'll never get it. It's the rarest tank, as I said. They will never release this tank ever again. And they can't buff it. They can't do anything to it because people have bought it. But if you've got one, or you meet one, you need to know what this tank can do. If you've got one, you're very lucky. You can go out onto the tier 3s and just cause complete and utter mayhem. If you haven't got one, and you come across one, either A, stay clear of it, or B, do everything to waste it. I mean, that's a Panzer S-35 there. And the Ke Ni Otsu's not having a difficult time with it. Now, he's the last tank. The Ke Ni's already wasted 4 other tanks. Can he get the 5th? Oh, who knows? Looks like it, because that reload, boom, boom, boom. And there we go. So we went from 6 tanks to 5 tanks. That's how good this tank is. That's how broken this tank is. Oh, and another master. Now, as you see there, it's 5 minutes after the last game. We did better damage there, but we still got a mastery. So that's 2 masteries back to back. And this is by far the easiest tank to ever get an ace in. But it doesn't always go according to plan. Now, this is the 3rd game in a row. So we've already had mines once, and we've got an ace on the first game, and we got an ace on the second game, and we're just basically going to go out and do the same thing again, which is cause absolute havoc on a battlefield. Nobody knows how to deal with this tank. You've got to kill it. You either avoid it or kill it. And it's such a broken tank that it's absolutely ridiculous when you take it out. In fact, if it wasn't for the fact we were doing a fun thing last night, it's actually embarrassing to take this tank out in a real game, because you're just going to waste anything in front of you. In all real terms, it's that stupid. And like I said, if you're lucky enough to have one, then it depends on your gameplay. If you're aiming for that perfect win rate, that unicum status, then just take this thing out. You won't be an all-round great player because all you've done it in is a Ke Ni Otsu. But if you are a reasonable, genuine player who likes to go out there and grind the tanks and look for fun, then after a while you'll be embarrassed to take this out because it's just wrong. It's just not the right tank. Like I said, it's like taking a Death Star out onto a tier 3 game. It's just ridiculously stupid. But the difference between this and the Death Star is, obviously, the Death Star, you're lucky enough to get 7 shots in a game. This thing, you just can't stop firing. It's just all the time. It's non-stop. Okay, and that's the other thing. Yes, you're constantly firing non-stop, so you're constantly spending money. But the credit grind on this thing is unbelievable. I mean, I lost games last night, and I still made credits. It's crazy. I think one game I did, everybody wasted me in the first 20 seconds, and I think I scored 80, and I still got something like 2,000 credits. The, the, this tank is just wrong on so many different levels. I'm so glad that it's not open to everybody to get this tank anymore. I'm so glad that this is the only real, truly broken tank in the game, because if it wasn't, the game would not be that much fun, to be honest with you. It's good taking this out, it gives you a good fun factor, but it must be horrible if you're on the other team. It's just, you know, you're just being rained upon, and there's not much you can do about it. And I'm glad Wargaming decided in their infinite wisdom not to withdraw it from those who'd already got it, because that would have been unfair. Obviously, they can't touch it, as I said, because people have paid for it, but it really shouldn't be brought back again. And I know some people say, oh, it's easy for you to say. You've got one. Yes, I have got one. And if you check out my stats, I don't go out in it that often. In fact, this is the first time I've been out in it in quite a long time. Here's interesting, though. I did more damage there than the last 2 games, and I only got a first class. What a crazy, crazy tank. So yes, it's broken. Yes, it's rare, and yes, you'll never be able to get your grubby little paws on one. But you will come across them from time to time. And you need to know, they are just a damage machine. But if you come across one on the battlefield, now you know what to do. And until the next time, have fun and happy tanking. Hey, I've been Fuji and you've been great. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it. And I'd love if you would press subscribe. Who knows, we can do some more. By all means, drop me comments, tell me what can be improved, and tell me what you'd like to see. I really love to know. Anyway, until the next time, guys, happy tanking.